Business news. Well, Abuja, the nation's federal capital, will play host to stakeholders in the education sector. That's both at home and abroad for the 20th meeting of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, which begins today in Abuja. Of course, like I said, the nation's federal capital. Now, the summit, which will run through to the 20th of March in Abuja, will focus on education with its theme, Transforming Education Through Partnerships for Global Competitiveness.
The chairman of the NESG, Mr. Folusho Phillips, says this year's summit will provide a unique opportunity for Nigerians to determine what the future of Nigerian education should be.
Nigeria's situation over the last 20, 30 years, our level of industrialization has really gone down. Nothing much is happening. So that demand, that pull for labor, pull for quality people, pull for technical experts and so on hasn't been there. The pressure hasn't been there. And as a result, we've sort of gotten away with not creating the right quality of people to work in the system. So in any situation, wherever there is a huge demand for a particular type of skill, then there's a tendency for people to move into that and try and get better and better at it. If you get into and you look at all the things we're discussing over the next 2 or 3 days, it's a whole value chain. We started with the philosophy of education. We're asking the president today to talk about what the vision is as far as education is, and what philosophy must we have, and what policies must we put in place to drive that philosophy so that we can achieve that vision. And once we've done that, we begin to look at all the elements, how we're going to do with technology, teacher training, access to education, and equity in providing education. And if you look at the way the summit is going to go, we actually start from that. We look at those things like I mentioned about your curriculum, the teacher training, your technology, and so on. I was saying in the context of that, how do we apply that to your early years, and how do we apply it to the primary schools, and then the secondary schools, and tertiary? So there's it's almost like a two-dimensional matrix, whereby for all those things, how are we applying them to these different segments of one's life cycle in learning?